On Tuesday of this week, I posted this video on the crypto and I was saying that something is interesting happening. And that was right before this big move here. So if you have missed this video, I suggest that you go and check it out. I have the link in the description below. And we're going to review the price action and see where all these crypto is going, and also these crypto mining stock that is being covered in this video as well. Okay, let's start off with this future contract on the Bitcoin here. And we're basically looking at this right here. Remember, we got the video on Tuesday, and you can see this move. And that's over 20% just for these past few days. So right now, it is up here, getting above this 78,000. I wouldn't be chasing this. Wait for a little bit of a pullback. Maybe in the coming week, we'll see a little bit of a pullback to the 75,000, then pushes up to the 85,000. And if it doesn't pull back and get up to the 85,000, wait for the next one. It could be pulling back to the 85,000, then push up to the 100,000 in the next leg up. So you don't have to go and chase these things, because you don't want to get in on the top here and then you see it come back down, because people will start taking profit and then start coming back up. So you don't want to, as soon as after you buy, you experience a dramatic drawdown on your account here or on your position. And notice that we see a relatively high, relative volume here, and also the RSI is way above the 50% level here. I mean the 50 level. So that means the average gain in the look back period is much greater than the average loss. And here we are looking at the Bitcoin versus USD, the US dollar here. Again, we see pretty much a high relative volume here, and this is almost greater than 3, and right now it's beyond this value area high. This composite volume profile, this area here, we call it value area, represent 70% of the traded volume. These price here and the volume here represents 70% of the traded volume. So right now it is above this value area high. So basically, we could look for some kind of pullback next week down to the 75,000, then possibly another push up into this 82,500. And here's Ethereum. Ethereum also made a nice pop, and it's over 30% for the week. And you can see that it is coming up to this low volume area here, right? So again, we're basically looking for a little bit of pullback. It might pull back into this value area high, and I wouldn't even be surprised to see it come down to this 2200 level before we make another push up to this 2800 area. So look for a pullback next week, maybe somewhere into this area, and then look for setup to go back on a bounce swing long, and targeting maybe possibly the 2800 level. And here's Solana. I did not cover that on last week's or on Tuesday's video, so I thought I covered in this video. You can see that it also made a nice move up, and we got a target here somewhere around 100. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this eventually get up to this $100 zone. So again, don't chase, just look for a little bit of a pullback before you get in, or wait until that it hit this 100 and then see a pullback come back down, then look for the opportunity to get in on the long side. Because if this thing gonna run, there's a possibility you're going to come up to this 120 level. All right, let's take a look at some of the crypto mining stock here. They are doing okay, not as great as the crypto itself, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana. So right now, the first one is RIOT, and it's up a little bit over 4% for the week so far. So we're basically looking for this thing to move up into this above this 22, get into the 23. Possibly, targeting to this upper, this value area on this composite volume profile, and that would be up at the 26 level. So we're basically looking for this thing to break this little bit of a trend line, get up to this zone, maybe chop around, and then push. So look for that in the coming week. Watch for a possibility of this type of price action. And here's HIVE. That's the one that kind of flagged me to start looking at the crypto stock and the crypto on Tuesday. And as you can see in the video, it popped up, I think on that day it was 14% or so. So, and I said, basically looking for a pullback. So I did get in on a position here on this pullback. So I'm holding a small size here to see what we'll do. Today I almost came in to my 1R level, that's where I usually kind of do some scaling out, take some partial profit. So it came up to 1 penny short. So I don't know, but we'll see next week. It might come up, and we're basically targeting at least to come up to this 480, 470 level up at this upper this value area high. So right now we have to get to this 350. So I'm looking for the possibility of moving up here and then somehow get up to this level here. And in addition to that, look at the relative volume was pretty good, right at this basing area here. So you see that you can see somebody is accumulating right here. Right, the relative volume is one is green. These bar that is green is greater than 1, and the yellow one is greater than 1.5, and the purple one is greater than 2. Relative volume is basically I think the look back period here is 20 days. So the relative volume is, if you got 2, then it's 2x of the 20-day average volume. Now here's BIT Digital. BIT Digital for this week actually lost a little ground here, but you look at the relative volume is quite high. So and also the RSI is about the 50 level, and definitely something is going on here. We'll likely see a little bit of a pop maybe in the next week. Now, of course, these are low price stock that is under $5. A lot of the fund could not participate in buying these stock that is under $5. So even though that we see a large volume, so most of those volumes probably retail volume, not necessarily institution volume. Now you see Marathon Holdings, see such a contrast. This stock is above that $5 threshold, right? And for the week, it is up 22%. So compared to BIT Digital, right? So right now, we're looking at this relative volume is quite high, and also the RSI is about the 50. So again, we're basically looking for this thing to come up, maybe attack the 13, and then come back and pull back a little bit, chop around before it make another move up into this between the 15 and 16 level. Okay, so you can see that recently also break this, it's a little bit of a short-term downtrend here. And here's strategy, and you see relative volume is really high, and also the RSI is much greater than 50. And you see this pop here. And last week, for the week, it actually up over 28%. So, and it is a little bit of a pricey stock, right? Sitting at 119 right now. So right now, basically looking at maybe chop around a little bit and then work itself up into this 150 area here. And that would be the next potential target that we're looking at for the upside. But wouldn't be surprised for it to come back down, to pull back into this maybe around this 110 area, and then make another push up. Now we're going to take a look at some of the ETF. Here is the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF, and it is up 22%, almost 23% for the week. And you see that the relative volume is also high. You can see that right now the price is up at this 59, close to 60 area. So wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a maybe a back test here, and maybe even try to fill one of these gaps here. There's actually 2 gaps, so before it pushes up into the 64 area. All right, here's the Fidelity Fund on the Bitcoin that I wasn't aware of, and you can see that it also made quite a move, and it is up 22.5% or so for the week, and the relative volume is quite high, and also the RSI is quite high as well. So basically looking for this thing to chop around and move up to the 72. I think that's basically the next target level, and that would be up at these highs here. And here's IBIT, and IBIT has also made a pretty strong move, and up 22.5% as well. So basically looking for this possibility of pulling back a little bit to the 42.50 or 42 area, and then make another push up to the 47.50. Eventually, we're looking at this value area high, and that would be somewhere around the 50 level. And finally, we have the Ethereum, the Grayscale Ethereum Fund, the ETF, and it is up over 28% for the week. And right now, it is sitting at 19.45. So basically, see would it be able to pull back down to 18 and then look for a bounce here and try to get in on a long. If you are waiting for opportunity, looking for opportunity to get long here, and we're looking for the possibility of moving up to the 22 and then possibly get up to this point of control near the 24 area. So those are the quick review of the recent price action. As you can see, the crypto market really made a pop here. And we sensed that there was some accumulation down here and something was cooking. We don't have a crystal ball, so we didn't know. I guess we just got lucky and guessed it correctly this time. Apparently, something going on with the White House getting into the crypto, that little act of, I don't know what they call it. But anyway, that prompted a lot of excitement in the crypto market. So hopefully you got in on that, and be sure to go watch that video and look for the opportunity for the next leg up. So thank you for watching and good luck on your trading.